Hey everybody, welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda, and I'm here with my brother Eric.
How's everybody doing out there? We are here with episodes 19 and 20 of season 5 for Friends. And these are some interesting ones. I'm not going to say like, oh, these are some great ones, because we seem to say that a lot. We didn't say that last time. I'm not going to say it this time. But I do find these two episodes very interesting, and I'm very curious to see how you felt about them, Amanda.
Oh, yeah. Well, this first one, especially the one where Ross can't flirt, stands out to me.
It does.
More out of these two. Really enjoy that one. But both of these, I'm just going to go out and say it before we even get into it. I rated these higher than I did the last
set.
The last set earlier in the week on Sunday.
Yeah.
Those I still listen. Season 5. This has really been a great season for me. Really enjoy a lot of these episodes, but those were on the lower side, especially as kind of, some of the Rachel, like her smoking with her colleagues or trying to smoke with her colleagues to fit in, and the whole Phoebe with cups and ice. It's funny, but it just wasn't like really hitting the same mark for me. This one, the one where Ross can't flirt, I mean, we'll get more into it, but it's one of those episodes again where they're all in that same room. They're all just at the girl's apartment, and we always talk about how those seem to really stand out, and just they're funnier because it's all about the timing and the orchestration of all the characters sort of moving around each other and playing off of each other. Just really funny.
I mean, so I'm always a fan of that, when they put them all together and they're in the same spot, and the storylines that they're all running are all just kind of intertwined with what's happening at that moment. Those seem to be some of my favorite episodes. It doesn't always hit, but it does a lot. The same way that, I think because of that, some of my least favorite ones are when they're not at the apartment, when they're on the road. Like, I know we're going to come up to Vegas soon, and we already did the London stretch, and they went to the beach. And, we're going to do Barbados at some point. Some of these other places that they go for a few stretches. It just, those always seem to be a little off. I don't know. There's something about it. Like, and I know, I'm just thinking back on some of those episodes as I'm saying this. I know the beach episode that we both really rated highly was the one with the jellyfish. And that was really still back at the apartment with all of them. It was those scenes that they were back home that carried that episode, not the stuff that they were doing when they were away. That being said.
Yeah. And we'd love to hear from you guys, because now we're about halfway through the entire series.
Yeah.
So is there like a type of episode that you tend to lean more toward? Is there a favorite season that you have so far? I know I've mentioned a few times, I feel like so far, season 5, I'm still sticking with this season as being my favorite of the series. But at the same time, I'm open to, as we dig into these more, maybe there'll be another one in the future that I end up enjoying more. I don't know, Eric, so far, would you say there's a season that you like the most?
This one so far, I think. On the whole, season 5, just looking at my ratings, feels like my favorite season, like blow for blow. Every episode. Yeah. Season 4 has some of my favorite episodes of all time. Some of my favorite Friends moments of all time. But it is also countered with a whole bunch that I'm like, I don't even care about this. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. And so the highs come with the lows. This season 5 seems to have enough highs, but also the lows for me aren't nearly as bad. In fact, just looking quickly, I have not ranked a single episode. Oh, no, one. I've only ranked one episode below an 8.
Oh, okay. I think I've had a couple.
You have had a couple.
Okay.
You've had a couple. I've only had one. Now, I've had some 8.1s and 8.2s in there, but I have had a lot of upper 8s, and I even had my second 10. And I have a couple of 9s. That will be interesting to look back at when we're all done. Maybe we do a halfway point at the end of season 5 and recap all the ratings and do something like that. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, just to remind everyone where we left things off, we had Rachel inadvertently kissing her prospective boss, but then landing the job. Monica was comparing her relationship with Chandler to Phoebe and Gary's. Joey was searching for a hot girl in Ross's apartment in Ross's building. And Joey is up against Little Ben in an audition. But meanwhile, Rachel was having to smoke to bond with her boss. And then she also had a surprise party thrown for her by Monica and Phoebe.
It sounds like a very bizarre set of circumstances that you just read down, but they did all happen.
They did all happen.
And here we are. We're now at episode 19 of season 5, the one where Ross can't flirt. And in this one, Ross is going to attempt to flirt with the pizza girl who's delivering pizzas to the apartment, while the gang is essentially sitting around waiting for Joey's appearance on Law and Order to take place. And in the meantime, after the show is over, Monica and Chandler are going out to celebrate, and she's looking for her earrings that she can't find because she gave them to Phoebe, who then gave them to Rachel. And here we are looking for lost earrings. But that being said, which one of these? I mean, this is kind of just all at the same time.
It is.
I was going to say, which one of these do you want to go to? But what do you want to talk about first? Let's just go with that. It's all tied together.
Yeah, it is all tied together here because, again, like we're talking about, it's all happening just in Monica and Rachel's apartment. So, although I guess we do kick things off over at Chandler and Joey's,
we do.
Where Ross is disturbed by the fact that Chandler is just kind of flirting, but just sort of talking in a joking and silly way to this delivery girl who he's kind of teasing her a bit because she's cut her hair, and Ross is just I don't know, you forgot about my sister, because he is taking this.
I mean, listen, I get it. I understand Ross's perspective totally. That being said, I would not even call what Chandler was doing flirting. I mean, it might be.
Points out he doesn't really even know how to flirt himself either. So, and clearly, Ross doesn't.
I would have called what Chandler had a conversation.
Yeah,
like he was just talking to the girl,
and
they were being friendly, and that was about it. But Ross viewed it as flirting, and I think that's just the perspective of are you or are you not single? Because if you're not single, that conversation doesn't feel like flirting because you're already in a relationship. But at the same time, if you are single, it kind of might be flirting because
that's true.
You're showing interest in another person.
And Ross, it's really because Ross thinks that this girl is cute, and so
Ross is single.
Yes, and
also Chandler is dating his sister, which it's whoa, so I get all of Ross's perspective.
Yes, yeah, and Ross wants to be the one talking with this girl, and he tries to, and it goes off the rails, but
so bad.
It's so bad. But something that also stands out to me here is, so once we go over to the girls' apartment and they're all hanging out, and then Joey's grandmother, his nanny, shows up straight from Italy. Joey, he has one brief line to her in Italian. Otherwise, speaks zero Italian, and he even says to the group she doesn't know any English, so like don't try to keep talking to her because she's not going to understand a word you're saying. And I'm thinking, and Joey, you're not talking. Do you know? I think he can understand it, but he's not speaking it, is what the implication is. It's very weird. I feel like they should have had him communicating more lines, even if it was just a few, to his own grandmother. That was just an observation I made here.
So it's interesting because I'm thinking to myself, well, what's the point of having her only be able to speak Italian? And the only reason they do that is so that theoretically, when Joey realizes his scene is cut, the group can have a conversation in front of her while she doesn't know what's going on.
That's right. That's all it is.
Like,
I mean, outside of that, there was really no reason for this scene to play out. It's just so that they could be funny, where it's like they're sharing, hey guys, isn't it like we know this thing that we're still trying to present to her as, oh yeah, here he is, he's on the episode, except he's really not, and he creates like a fake version of the episode and somehow is able to pull the wool over her eyes.
Listen, he just videotapes himself in his own apartment and calls it Law and Order.
Didn't even bother to change his shirt.
Did not. And, you know, I don't know that scene needed to even be there. I think you could have done this whole thing with like them sitting around the apartment, waiting for the Law and Order scene, and then having Joey realize his scene's been cut and not having to like worry about hiding it from. I don't think that adds anything to the story. I think you could have still done the story without the grandmother there and without him making the fake scene. I don't know. What about you? What do you think about that?
Oh, well, to me, but that was I think that was kind of the whole purpose of this episode, is to kind of like them to cover up that, hey, I was cut from the scene, but how do we make this funnier than Joey just being disappointed about being cut? Well, he has to fake that he wasn't cut, right? Because
that's true. It becomes sadder.
Yeah, it would have landed a lot sadder without the grandmother there, because otherwise it's like, well, now we just have another failed audition attempt or another failed acting attempt.
Not failed. He got the part. He got the part.
Oh, so close.
I mean, do they pay you at that point? I don't even know how that works. Like, if you get hired and you like do all the stuff and film, and then they cut your scene, like you still get paid?
I guess it all depends on the contract, as we hear about in later episodes. Wait, so you took the job, but you only get paid once the movie gets paid? Like once the movie gets money? in the upcoming episodes in Vegas. Yeah. So it's like, I think that otherwise we're just seeing Joey just get cut again. And that, I think it's to create more comedy around.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. You're right. It is better with the grandmother there. I don't think you need her to be there, but it does definitely change the vibe.
I think well, sorry to cut you off, but I think she's just thinking of grandparents too. She's really, outside of seeing Monica and Ross's grandmother just before she passes away in the hospital bed, well, when she really comes back to life in that hilarious episode. Oh my goodness, I love that one.
I'm already ready to rebuttal this.
But is there another grandparent that we meet?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of who else.
I'm ready. I've got the answer.
Oh, Phoebe's grandmother. Yeah. Oh my goodness, so sorry, Phoebe's grandmother. We know her better than anyone.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I do not believe we get to meet Chandler's grandparents, nor do we get to meet Rachel's.
No.
But we do get to meet Ross's and also Monica's. Yeah.
Hey.
Ross and Monica, that's two.
Well, that's true.
But yeah. Not a lot of grandparents.
No,
not a lot of grandparents.
Not a lot of grandparents.
But okay. To be fair, this is the thing. This is just facts of life at this point, right? Like these these guys are all getting close to 30. Ross has got, kids. They're all going to have, like, Phoebe's given birth. Like, there's going to be more kids in this situation. There become a lot less great-grandparents around. Mm-hmm. So, like, we've already seen Ross and Monica's grandmother at her funeral. Like, that's kind of, I wouldn't expect to see a lot of grandparents.
Well, we also get to learn something about Joey, though, from this, and that's when she says one of her lines in English, "My big fat Joey star," and he's like, "Well, I weighed 27 pounds when I was born."
Not shocking.
27 pounds.
This is not stunning for what we know about Joey, but that's a big baby. That is a big baby.
I think this comes up again when, like, Phoebe was giving birth, or maybe it's later. I don't know, but it's not good. It's not good imagining anyone having to give birth to a 27-pound baby. So no.
Nope. No, that can't be great.
And she doesn't know hello, but she knows Capricorn 1.
Well, right. Like, what are we doing here? The consistencies of the Italian language were definitely messed with a little bit here. Okay. We also have this lost earring scenario, which is genuinely not too much of a plot line because it's just showcasing, well, Monica doesn't trust Rachel with things. Mm-hmm. That's what this is getting down to. It's fun watching Rachel and Phoebe kind of scramble around, and I love when Phoebe finds the earring and comes in and is like, "Hey, I found it. It was on your nightstand." She's like, "That's the one we already have."
Yes. Yeah. Did you check Chandler's jewelry box? Chandler has a jewelry box? Oh, we don't have time for that.
We only have 10 minutes. We don't have time for this.
And the conversation, my favorite part of that whole thing is really when, Rachel's coming clean to Phoebe. "Well, I'm not allowed to borrow her stuff." "Well, why not?" "Because I lose her stuff." And because she went ahead and lost her stuff again. And then when Phoebe is then, coming clean, because she tells Rachel, "Listen, I'll take the hit for this. I'll just tell her I lost it. No big deal." And so Monica to Phoebe is saying, "Oh, you know what, honey, it's fine. Like, you lost it. We'll get another one. And, it's okay." Because clearly this hasn't been an issue between the two of them, this recurring problem. But then Rachel is observing this heartwarming apology and forgiveness. And she's like, "I want a part of this." So she's like, "You know what? It was actually me. And this is exactly why I don't lend you my stuff." And she just throws it back in her face because it's like, Rachel, now she's only wanting part of this for the forgiveness portion. And guess what? You're not going to get it, girl. You're not.
Which is also why, like, I never got my sunglasses back. And that's when Phoebe's like, "Oh, right. Here you go."
So Phoebe apparently is also guilty of this too, which is...
Phoebe is also guilty of losing these things.
Yeah.
Because... somehow Monica must have lent them to Rachel, but then
Rachel lent them to Phoebe,
and then they were lent back to Rachel. I don't know. The lending portion of that is a little confusing because, like, Rachel found her sunglasses and Phoebe's like, "Those are my sunglasses," so she must have got them from Phoebe, I think, or something. I don't know.
I guess.
Who knows where the sunglasses originated?
No one remembers. No. Where the sunglasses came from, but either way.
But now we get to Ross, though.
Those earrings are gone, and guess what? It didn't matter in the end of the day anyway, because Chandler is looking at them, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, nice. Look at the earrings. Thanks,
Forgot
Ross.
About that.
Way to pick them out."
He like,
because
no
Ross,
idea, and he didn't know what they looked like to begin with. Funny.
Right, because Ross is the one who picked them out. Chandler didn't even get them because he looked to Ross. He's like, "Hey, can you help me out? Get some earrings for your sister," which was an interesting move, I guess, but he had his back. So,
well, Ross is a good gift giver. We have that information. We know that.
Yeah.
He's the one.
But listen, Chandler got the
what?
Oh my goodness, Velveteen Rabbit.
That okay. Fair. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Because I was just thinking back on toilet seat covers. And like, that's not like, oh, lemon lime. Like, these are not the best gifts that Chandler gave. He and Joey both.
They were just working with. In that case, they were just working with what they had at the gas station.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're somebody who's a good gift giver, you are out in front of that. You are not down to the wire at a convenience store, like trying to buy that.
Okay, true.
Just saying.
Fact.
That being said, we have to get to the Ross side of this whole story, which is really the inability to flirt with the pizza girl, which is classic, brutal watching Ross try to just talk to a human.
Yeah.
These are the scenes.
And you gotta love.
These are the scenes where my wife will make fun of me because I'll be watching it and then also trying to hide on the couch because it is just the worst thing ever. The embarrassment of the character just filters through me, and I'm like, oh nope, this is awful.
Yeah, and I mean, they're even asking Rachel, hey, Rachel, did it bother you when Ross, because part of this also is Chandler being accused of flirting with the hot delivery girl in front of Monica, and he's like, oh God, I did not do that, shh. And because it's their anniversary, right, and he's not wanting this to come off wrong, and Monica's just like, oh, listen, it's fine, it's no big deal, like, you're just talking like friendly to this girl. I flirt with people all the time is what she's saying, and it doesn't bug me. And they're asking Rachel, well, Rachel, did it bother you when Ross flirted with other girls? No, it bothered me when he slept with other girls.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I will say I fully understand and support Chandler's philosophy here. Like, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if a guy flirts with a girl, nobody cares. If a girl flirts with a guy, immediately that guy is like, oh, something can happen here.
She likes me.
Yep. Yeah. Immediately. It's just constant. It is unbelievable how easy that is. So yeah, I get it. I understand that.
Well, that's pathetic.
It is true.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's true.
It is true. He's like, and then those guys go to sleep, and the other guys on the other side of the world wake up, and the same thing happens with them.
Not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying them's the facts. And there is a difference. There is a difference, and it's not fair. And I'm just telling you that is absolutely how it is. Now, that being said, I don't think Chandler is also the one to be like, well, you can't flirt with, guys anymore. I don't think you see him saying that. Like, that would change the demeanor of that whole story as well. No. But it's just kind of like an awareness that, hey, just so you know, every time you're out there having a normal conversation with a guy, he thinks you really like him. Just putting that out there. Well, and it's true in real life as well as the Friends universe. Just saying. Ladies, know that that's the facts.
And Ross is telling the group, hey guys, prepare yourself for some Class A flirting.
Oh God, this is not Class A flirting. This is not flirting at all. This is nothing. This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
Immediately after that, and probably my favorite part about Noni being there is when then Ross is like, wait, what's her name again?
Caitlin.
So flustered. And the grandmother calls out Caitlin.
Must know a little bit of English. She's clearly paying attention to this. I don't know. This the Italian.
I think she knows what's going on here. Yeah.
I mean, listen.
But
I'm not going to try to recite Ross's lines here. It's awful. He starts talking about gas and smells and all sorts of chaos. And poor Caitlin is just like, this is awful. Get me out of here. Just looking for the money, please. And then it's one of those, you know what? It's on me. I'm just walking away from this. It's worth the $12.50 out of my own paycheck to go away.
he is trying to explain to her he's asking her what type of oven they use to make the pizzas because he's trying to make some casual conversation. Oh, it's gas? Wow, intense.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's the pacing of it. He slows it all down to a crawl, and it's just trying to make something out of nothing. And then Phoebe,
not gonna lie, though.
Phoebe comes up with the best moment where Ross is now down and out on his luck, and Phoebe comes up, "Hey Ross, what else do they put smells in?" So this is like suddenly an academic moment for Phoebe to learn about what things they've added smells to, and he's just like, "This is the worst." But you know the scene.
I like that.
You know the scene way off into the future where we get Mike, and Ross and Mike are on the couch, like talking about lagers and stouts and what other things are this is the future, or this is the precursor to that scene where he slows down his speech, and it's just like nobody has said anything for a long time, which is the other one that comes up in the future. It's so painful because you're waiting for him to say anything to fix it. And the next thing he said only makes it worse every single time.
Yeah, they put that smell in. And then Chandler, you see over his shoulder, oh, the humanity.
Yeah, it's a train wreck. It's a train wreck. And it's a funny train wreck, and it's fun to watch, but it is painful to watch too.
Even Ross, after the moment when he comes back into the room, he's like, was I just talking about gas?
Yeah.
More so than anything else.
Yeah. You spoke about gas for a while, and you got nothing out of that.
Well, I do like this from Rachel, though, because we see this moment where it's like they have actually really, really, like, it's done between them. That's how it seems in this moment anyway, because she is just trying to be a good friend. She's realizing she probably said some kind of hurtful things because she's then saying, well, it took you 9 years to get right there with me. Well, and like criticizing his flirting because, listen, Ross is clearly not a good flirter. He is a very slow pace in getting his feelings out there. At least he was for Rachel. So she's saying, listen, there's no way that this is going to work out. And no, the Gellers are not good at flirting in general. But so she runs out after Caitlin and is explaining to her, like, listen, once you get past all that awkward stuff, he's actually a really good guy and he's really sweet and you should take a shot on him. So I appreciate that.
100%. And while Rachel does take plenty of punches, she also opens up the door in the first place by saying, because he looks at her when he realizes that he's going to flirt. And she's like, listen, Ross, we've been broken up for a while. You've been married since then. Like, yes. I think it's okay if you flirt with this girl. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
And then she saves the day at the end, even though she takes plenty of shots in between those two things happening. And this is, while we never see Ross and Caitlin actually go on a date, it is positive to see Rachel in the line of, okay, but I will cultivate this for you on your behalf because we're going to move on.
And what's interesting with the writing here too, because when we look at the episodes that are coming up, it's like, it always feels like the writers they're wanting to really hone in that, hey, they've just moved on to being friends, but then always want to leave that throughway to, well, but they want to be more than friends because in these upcoming episodes that we have in Vegas, that's where things really start to take a turn back again and bring up feelings for Ross.
So there was a scene, and on this rewatch, I don't feel like I saw it. Maybe I've got it misplaced. But there was a scene, I swear it happened after Emily, where obviously Rachel had run over to England and, was going to confess her love for Ross. And then Ross goes through the whole breakup sequence. And there was a scene at Central Perk where I believe Monica goes to Rachel and says, well, so are you going to like go out with Ross? Are you going to take a shot with Ross now? And Rachel says something along the lines of, oh no, this is going to take a long time for him to recover from. I think we're good. And I don't know that actually happened. I don't know if I'm remembering. Oh, did it? Okay. So
it did.
That's what I'm saying. Like, was that another one that was cut by the DVDs? What happened? So
no, that wasn't a deleted scene. That was like when he was, I think, kicked out of the apartment.
Yes.
He was moving in with Joey and Chandler.
Okay, so
and
I am
sitting
remembering
on the couch, and she's like, "Oh no, I don't really go for divorced guys. Oh, you just go for guys just before they're about to get married." Then
yes, and by the way, Ross was divorced when you started dating him the first time. So that whole
she says they were when they're just divorced is the line.
Well,
but yeah.
Okay. That whole sequence, though, opens the door for Rachel to be able to step in and help Ross with this. And it gives the audience the idea of, hey, this isn't a thing. We're done with that now. We're moving on in another direction. And everybody can be okay with that. And I think that is that's very helpful for both characters to see that. To say, like, well, they're back now in the friends bucket. You know there's always an opportunity down the line, but right now they're in friend space, and it's all good.
Yep. Agreed.
So now we have Season 5, Episode 20, The One with the Ride-Along. And in this one, we have Emily calling Ross right before she's about to get married, seeing if they made a mistake. We also have Joey, Ross, and Chandler all getting to go on a ride-along with Gary and, help thwart some crimes throughout New York City.
At nighttime.
It is officially nighttime. Joey, I want to go on one. Ross, yeah, me too. Chandler, yeah, me too. Really? You? Like, that's... yes.
Poor Chandler.
So, listen, this is... I'm going to jump into it. In the last episode, you had mentioned some sort of, like, flashback song that kind of, like, got your attention.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
And I said, hey, that comes up again. There is a moment that I spent a lot of time researching what this is from, and ultimately it came to Stock Noise. And that is
I know.
The moment that the gunshot goes off that's not a gunshot, and Joey is diving, and they're playing this like action music in the background where Joey is covering over Ross and trying to save ultimately his sandwich. They're playing this music, and I'm like, what show is that from? Like, what action show is that from? And the answer that I could find was nothing.
It might have reminded you slightly because remember, like when Chandler was running after Kathy in that scene, that really was the Mod Squad. So I feel like you probably had that in your mind.
That's what I was going for. I'm like, what show is this from? Is this from? I mean, there's a reference to Serpico at one point in time in these episodes, and it's like, is this where we're at? And the answer is no.
No, just stock action sound.
Yeah,
is
just
probably
nothing.
What that
and I'm like,
is.
wow, what a disappointment. Like, you could have stacked it with something, but no. Anyway,
just as you were saying that, I'm like, oh, I know exactly where you're going with this.
I spent too much time looking for that. And listen, there may be an answer, but from what I was able to find, it's stock music footage.
If anyone knows.
Hey, if you know, put it in the comments.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, it's I really enjoy the line from Joey because he's unable to eat his sandwich in the car. And he's saying, hey, does that have a marinara sauce on it? A whole bunch of cheese, meatballs? He's like, yeah, it does. He's like, yeah, you're not going to eat that in here. You're not allowed. Basically, Gary does not want Joey dripping sauce and cheese and making a mess all over his car. And Joey's saying, well, even though my tax dollars paid for this car, and Chandler, your tax
dollars? Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Love that. But also Chandler totally trolling Ross because Chandler off scene, we haven't seen this moment, but has clearly told Ross that the cherry that goes on top of the police car is called a berry. Yep. And so Ross is saying to Gary, hey, you wanted me to grab the berry for you? It's called a cherry. Chandler! Just love that moment.
Chandler's got a lot of like little moments in these few episodes that we've seen where he's not ever really like the focus of the storyline, although this one he definitely has a little bit more play in, but he's just got these little lines. I mean, that's his character forever, but it's notable, I feel like, in these few episodes, some of the stuff that he adds in like that, that really help, keep it funny.
Yeah. Well, because after Ross grabs the cherry off the top, I like how he puts it under his shirt because they're trying to be undercover here. So he's making the light go off and it's going crazy. And he's thinking that he's closer to being Gary's partner because he's in the front seat at this point, but then puts it under his shirt. E.T. phone home.
And he's relegated to the back. Yeah. Get out.
Which, Eric, I learned recently. I did not know this because it's just become such a part of, I guess, the common lore of E.T. that we say E.T. phone home. Do you know that the actual line in the movie is E.T. home phone? Am I blowing your mind right now? Because I had to actually go back and look at it. I almost didn't believe it. It's true.
It is true. Now that you say it, and I'm thinking, you know how long it's been since I've seen E.T.? But because the first line that he says is home, right? But I guess I thought that he went back home and then would go back and say phone home.
He says
home. No, he says home. Phone
is the actual line, and somehow it got flipped around in how everyone says it. So weird. That blew my mind a little bit. So I thought about that again here because he quotes it as phone home, which we all do.
Which everybody does.
Yeah. Yeah. So weird. But yeah, that we have this moment where there's the car backfire, and because they're all in the back seat at this point, Joey flings himself over Ross, but it's really just to protect his sandwich because that makes sense.
Well, listen, and I'll say I'm not saying that you want to be protecting sandwiches, but I understand that in a panic moment like that, you're just going to do your instincts. Instincts are kicking in, and I'm not saying that those are the right instincts to have, but I understand Joey reacting in the way that he would react.
And Chandler's just like, hello, I'm over here, and immediately.
Oh, but Ross isn't street like us.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. But I also appreciate that after all of this, and Ross is just staring lovingly at Joey on the couch. Cut it out, Ross. I'd hate to have to save your life and kick your ass in the same day.
It's true, though. I mean, listen, this scene, I really actually appreciate this story line more for like getting to see the guys interacting with Gary.
Yes. Right.
In the same way that I enjoyed watching Joey and Chandler invite Richard to the basketball game, where you're like being included in the group.
I feel like they always seem like little boys next to these other guys that come into the mix, though.
Oh, for sure, because it's a small thing, but it's a great thing when they come back to the coffee shop and they're telling their stories of being shot at, and Gary's like, "Hold on." He goes over, kisses Phoebe. "Hi, how you doing? Good. Okay, now continue." And it's like, "Oh, guys, you just got crushed." In that moment, you look bad. Yeah. I mean, they're not dating Phoebe, but it puts Gary in such a different stratosphere that it's amazing.
Agreed. Yeah. One of my favorite moments from Joey in this whole episode, though, is when he's explaining to Chandler, listen, I was just trying to get my sandwich. I would never pick Ross over Hugh. You're like my brother. And he's like, you know what? Just to show you how much you mean to me, I will let you take a bite of this sandwich.
No, he doesn't say that.
No,
he just holds it out for him.
You're right. He just holds out the sandwich. He does not say a bite. So you're right. And so he just says, I will give you this, or just holds it out to him.
He just holds it out there for him. And Chandler's like, really? He's like, yeah.
Yes.
He's like, thanks. Takes a single bite. He's like, well, I'm taking that back. Like, what? I'm giving you a bite. Jeez.
Yeah, and that's the moment that makes me laugh every time when he's like, just a bite. Jeez.
Like, come on, man.
I know. Wasn't going to give you
But you were showing me how much you appreciated me.
And I guess, hey, each bite is apparently very valuable to Joey.
I mean, how good can that sandwich be after an entire ride along, right? It can't be that good.
It looks like mostly bread, I'm not going to lie. So I looked at that
sandwich. Well, the first bite of a sub like that's never going to be great anyway. Like, you got to wait to...
Given him the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Poor Chandler.
Yeah.
But let's get to the other side, which is all taking place now in Ross's apartment. Or did you have something else? You looked like you might have had one more thing. Okay.
Do you think that they ever told Ross what Joey was ever protecting? Because in the end, it didn't seem like it, because they were kind of joking around, and Ross said something like, oh, yeah, Joey, you'd be down in like the foxhole, like protecting all of us. And Chandler says, well, yeah, if it was lined in sandwiches. And it almost seems like an inside joke between them. I don't know if they ever told Ross whatever really happened, and I wanted to get your take on that. Very hard-hitting question.
That's a great question, because then... Who is it that says, yeah, hero sandwiches? Yeah. Is that Joey or is that Ross?
It was Ross.
That? Yeah, I
don't think they ever told him.
They definitely didn't tell him on camera. I'd like to think that he found out about this. I feel like these things tend to get found out about. Right. When they try to hide these things, much like when Rachel and Chandler... She was like, listen, I could be very generous or very stingy.
Yeah.
And they go back to the coffee shop and the guys are like, no. It's like, wow, that lasted for about 5 seconds. Like, I think Ross has got to know.
Well,
Ross has got to know.
I don't know. I wonder if they were just trying to leave Ross with his newfound respect for life. Because that's kind of where this rolls right into, because these plot lines all kind of are very intertwined as well, similar to the last one, where it was like, well, we have this message from Emily that gets left on Ross's answering machine, but we had to have this plot device to get Rachel and Monica both over to Ross's apartment, because they're... they need some tequila and basically everything to make margaritas. And so
Ross has got the blender.
Instead of just going to the store, they're just going to Ross's house, which is great.
Yeah. Which it made sense to me. Oh, Ross has borrowed my blender. Go over and get the blender.
Right.
Okay, fine. Go get the blender. Oh, see if he has all the ingredients too, because we have none. And I'm thinking to myself, Monica, you have none? Monica, you're always the hostess.
Yes.
You have everything. Mm-hmm. There's no way you have none.
Well,
like, see if he has ice. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Monica's got ice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that side of it, but going to get the blender is fine. I also find the Monica just taking money from Ross's apartment a little out of character for her.
I know, right? Although, I guess brother, sister, I mean, maybe I don't know, she's just messing with him, because Ross seems to immediately know that when his money is gone, that it's her. So apparently this is something that she's always done with him, which Yeah.
I would say that this is why I'm glad then that you live many states away from me, so you're not just swiping my cash. But that being said, I also don't have any cash just lying around the apartment.
It's not a thing. No, it's not a thing that really
Apple
happens.
Pay, people. Apple Pay.
That's right.
That's it. 100%. Anyway.
I'd have to just be stealing your credit cards.
Yeah. Well, I love this moment, though, and we've referenced this moment a number of times. And in all honesty, when this storyline popped up, I thought it was farther away.
So did I. Yes, I had the same feeling.
I didn't realize that this coincided with the ride-along episode. I don't know where I thought it was, but I know previous podcasts I said, oh, that's way far away, thinking it was multiple seasons away. But no, it's here. And so, I mean, we started this season.
Like season 8, Eric.
Yeah, we started this with after Ross says Rachel. That's the one that's where we started this season. And now we're 20 episodes away, and Emily's calling back in.
I think what's weird, too, is maybe in my mind, I'm thinking, she's already getting married again.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think the same thing. Like, the idea that she's getting married again in the same calendar year after already trying to rush a wedding with a guy and all the trauma that came with that, you are jumping in already into the next one. Like, that, to me, is the most ridiculous of all of this. And then when she is calling him and basically saying, like, I'm still feeling like we might have, like, left something off, I'm thinking to myself, Emily, why are you getting married? What are you doing? Like, yikes. And this is where we get everything that you were talking about. I'll let you, set the scene here, where the friends basically disparage Emily.
Yeah, it doesn't, and I feel like it doesn't help with how everyone feels about Emily either.
Agreed.
When they find out that she's getting married again right away, because they did mention this a few episodes ago when Ross found out that she's getting married.
Right.
And then this is when I guess it's actually happening. How Ross has all of this information? This is pre-internet. I don't know. I don't quite understand that piece. I guess he saw, supposedly he saw some type of announcement, but so is she staying in the States? Is that also the implication?
I
don't know. It's very weird, but either way, yeah, they're over at Ross's apartment and hearing this message playing back on, so Rachel had heard it originally and she's playing it back for Monica. And that's when she accidentally deletes it. And then at the end of the episode, Rachel's deciding, well, I gotta tell Ross about the message. Like, he has to at least know, which I think is the right move. Because, listen, they were in there, they accidentally deleted it. They should let him know that she called. It wouldn't be right. And Monica's reaction to say, like, hey, I'm his sister. I deserve to control him. I mean, it's because I love him.
Yeah, Monica comes off looking real bad. Trying to, say, I deserve to have some control and steal money. Like, Monica's looking not great here.
This is not good for Monica. But Ross is just kind of, everyone is getting tired of Ross talking about his newfound respect for life after just a car backfired. And he's saying, someone took a shot at me to Rachel, because Rachel hadn't heard this story yet. So she's like, listen, Ross, that was barely an experience at all. You did not have a near-death experience, but this is what happened. And counting on him to make the right decision. But when he's confessing that, well, his right decision is to call Emily back because today is a day where he's just seizing everything, she's like, let's talk about this a little bit more. And that's where the line comes out. She was horrible to you.
Yeah. And
she made you miserable. And it's like,
well, and her and Monica have a conversation before Ross is there, where it's like, we can't have this happen. Like, she's awful, and it hammers that point home a few times in a row. And if you go back and watch those Emily episodes, I'm telling you, I felt I think Emily was a great fit for Ross all the way up until he said the wrong name. Actually, no.
Yeah.
All the way up until they tried to rush the wedding through. That's when it started going sideways. Like when it came to the stresses of trying to put a wedding in the church that is being torn down at the last second and all these different things. Like she was very good. The only person she didn't get along with a lot was Rachel, but that's because Rachel was just jealous of her the whole time.
Well, and also you have to point out the main problem, which is the fact that Ross was still in love with Rachel when he's trying to marry Emily.
Well, there is that. And that was clear at the end. But but like, you know, these are the things that happen. Emily, there's nothing wrong with Emily until the very bitter end. And the way they like portray her in this scene, I think is what casts the shadow over how Emily's just the worst ever. And it's like, you know, listen, if you were standing at the altar, someone said the wrong name, then you went to the airport because you were going to go on the honeymoon and try to work it out. And that person is getting on the plane with the person who they said their name. Like, what are we talking about here? And then you still decide, oh, I'm going to go to New York anyway. I'm going to leave my country, go to another country to still try and make it work with this guy or girl.
Yeah.
Forget this. You know, this is not Emily's bad. Ross comes off looking horrible.
And there's another parallel here between Friends and How I Met Your Mother when Ted is also like driving around with his ex who's literally in a wedding dress and she's trying to leave her marriage for him. Like,
and you know what? And like, you know what though? Victoria is amazing. We will not speak ill of Victoria.
No, I won't. That was all Ted. I will speak ill of Ted. The more you watch that show, the worse it gets. And I know
that they try to like put it on Victoria late, and I would have just never had the Victoria storyline at the end. But that is something that we'll talk about another day.
The friends in that friend group and How I Met Your Mother do not hate on Victoria. They actually all really like her, as opposed to here where it's all the hate gets dumped on Emily, whether it's right or not. And yeah, they just decide that maybe today is close call day.
Yes.
And that is how we're going to leave things. And he is deciding not to call her back because guess what? I do not want to see or speak to her ever again. I love that.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's like Ross. Front.
Yeah, maybe I'm glad that Rachel had that stuck around and had that conversation with you so you didn't make a really bad choice because I don't know. This just really makes me not like Emily here. Wow.
Well,
you're calling your ex right before you're about to get married. Not good.
And I will say this storyline, I'm glad that this storyline existed for the future because then later down the line on this rewatch, there will be an opportunity where Ross gets a message for Rachel and buries it. He buries it. And it's not his choice to bury that or not. These Gellers want to control everybody. And Rachel gets real mad when she finds out that message never got handed out. And so
he does not take the high road like Rachel does.
He does not do what Rachel did. Mm-mm. He does what Monica would have done.
Yep.
And it comes back to bite him in a big way. But we will get to that. That is quite a bit down the line. But yeah. So now we're going to jump into our IMDb segment of this podcast where we talk about our ratings and stack them up to your ratings as we find them on imdb.com. Plus, we're going to talk about our favorite and least favorite characters from these last two. And I will say this. I I went round and round and round on my favorite character here, but I'm going to land on Ross.
Okay.
I think the sandwich episode where he's like trying to escape death and also dealing, then he like partners into that other side with the margarita mix and Emily and all that. And I know he's not his best throughout all that, but he's pretty darn good. And Ross flirting with the pizza girl, as cringy as that is vintage Ross insanity. And I am here for those episodes. So I'm going to take Ross as my favorite. How about you?
I went with Chandler as my favorite because I do.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I do love the flirting part with Ross as well. But Chandler, I loved all of his comments in the background while Ross is struggling. It was just so funny, like just how snarky he's being, especially the humanity. Just something about that line always cracks me up with Chandler. And him also just kind of, I feel like in these couple episodes, we really see Chandler change. Like his character is really taking this huge arc into being almost one of the more grounded in the whole group.
Well, I think it starts with the previous podcast that we had earlier this week where he's the one who settles Monica down.
Right.
And from there forward, we kind of see a more grounded version of Chandler, still with all the jokes.
Yes.
But less wild.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll have those moments, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, he's becoming a little bit more even keel. And maybe that's just Monica rubbing off on him.
Maybe it is. But I love Chandler here. Also, his lines to Joey, like, your tax dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
how about your least favorite?
I went with Monica for my least favorite. For some of what we mentioned. It's like I don't know. It is really funny and it makes her stand out as being a crazy person. But wow, Monica, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm not going to lie to you. I had Phoebe written down. Before we did this.
Okay.
And it was kind of Phoebe by default. Phoebe doesn't have a lot going on.
It's true. Yeah.
She's kind of left on the sidelines for these two episodes.
That's a good point.
Has some moments, but like outside of asking Ross what smells there like are put into things and like being Gary's girlfriend.
Yeah. She
like
really wasn't in it.
She's not part of the Margarita Emily scene. She's not really part of the ride along.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I was going to pick Phoebe, but Monica trying to steal money and then trying to control the phone, like, it's bad. It's not good, Monica. That's not good.
No.
And then Monica in the previous episode is really also kind of left on the sidelines because the real story is Rachel and Phoebe trying to scramble. I'm sorry. No, yes. Yeah. Rachel and Phoebe trying to scramble to find the earring, most of which is Rachel. Yes. So, like, Phoebe's got that, but not a lot else. Monica has the negatives of going to the message, not a lot else. But I enjoy Phoebe's search for the earring way more than I enjoy Monica's going over to Ross's apartment. So when it comes down to those two, Monica's the worst one for me.
Although I will say I did enjoy Monica with just how she was talking with Rachel and Phoebe and how she was so quick to forgive Phoebe, but then
that's her best moment. That's
great.
Her best moment in both of these two episodes.
Yeah. And also the fact that she was so like laid back about the whole Chandler flirting thing. Like she's just like, it's not a big deal. Like I flirt all the time. Like I think it's It's funny how they kind of showcase those different parts of her personality, but still, yeah, maybe it was just this more on this second episode that we're talking about where it's like, gosh, that's hard to watch. Yeah.
So I've just adjusted my ratings a little bit because of this. Because I will say, I was going to come into this episode saying that no, I'm going to go back. Going back.
Well, which one do you like more?
Well, that's the thing.
Oh.
For the first time,
it's close call day.
I'm going to tie. I'm going to tie him on close call day. I do like them both very, very, I like them both. They're not my favorites by a long way, but I do have them being much higher than the previous set. And for one reason or another, I keep going back and forth on which one I like better. I'm going to say the one where Ross can't flirt is slightly better, but I am going to ultimately give both episodes an 8.7.
Okay,
so I will cop to, if I could go down to hundredths of a point, that I would give the one where Ross can't flirt a little bit more. I almost docked the ride along, but I really like those ride along scenes. I really like the stuff that's going on at the apartment, whether it is Rachel and Monica trying to talk it out or whether it is Rachel and Ross then at the end. I really like both of these. I don't think either of them have those classic moments that put it into the 9s. So I'm going to give it an 8.7 for both.
So I did give the one where Ross can't flirt a 9.0.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
That.
I understand why you would do that too.
Yeah.
You are going to give the Ross episodes bonus.
It is. It's so good. Yeah. That just, again, I really enjoy how they're all, the whole dynamic of everyone in that one apartment together, playing off of each other. Just the orchestration and the timing of everyone is great. So I really enjoyed that one. And also with the addition of Noni, which I do appreciate that. So, yeah, I gave that one a 9, and then I gave the one with the ride along an 8.6. So, I mean, yeah, 8.7, I also get that, but I also...
So we're in that same ballpark then. Really, for both of them, in all honesty, like upper end of the 8s for both, maybe pushing 9.
Yeah.
And let's see what the fans have. So the fans have also agreed with you in the rankings and with me in the rankings a little bit here.
Okay.
Where the one where Ross can't flirt is the higher of the two. We like it more than most.
Oh, it didn't hit the 9s?
It did not. It didn't even hit 8.7. Oh. It was an 8.6.
Okay.
Which is very close.
Yeah.
But an 8.6 solid rating. That is really good. No problems. The ride along though, I gave an 8.7, you gave an 8.6. The fans have given it an 8.1.
Oh my gosh, we like these a lot more than the fans then.
That one is surprising how, I mean, yeah, you were half a point higher on almost both of them. I was much closer on the first, but still 0.6 points higher on the second. It's the ride along that I'm most stunned at how low it is. I get it, but I mean, I also don't get it.
We get very into the fractions of a point here, guys, because Friends are all very high-rated episodes. So when we're talking about
this is,
fractions,
we are talking about the difference between 8.1 and 8.7, right? They're both 8s.
I'm like, oh my God, it's not even that far.
No, it's not. I mean, genuinely, it's not that far. But in the context of the IMDb rating system for Friends, it is far. Yeah. So I am surprised that it didn't quite get as much. I'm thinking thinking maybe, listen, the Emily episodes just get docked. And so maybe because Emily is mentioned,
we heard her voice.
It gets hit back. Maybe it's because there's so much time spent with Gary and we don't know a lot about Gary yet. I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know. I like that one. I liked it too. Mm-hmm. Sorry. You're all wrong. Well, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please check out our socials on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And again, we always appreciate you checking out our website, werunonreruns.com, where we have all these podcasts in full. You can also find them on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or your other favorite podcast players. For Amanda, this is Eric. Enjoy watching the end, I think, of Friends Season 5 this coming week, where we go through episodes 21 and 22 and then 23 and 24. So enjoy wrapping up Friends Season 5 this week, everybody. Happy rerunning.
See you, pals. Bye, guys.